Sometimes I wish I had guts, not a lot, but enough to speak up. Cause I ain't really like it. Promise I'm never like this. Oh, how I wish I was popular from the start, so I didn't have to do too much to make you like me. Guess now I have to fight it. Cause I'm not cool, just a little bit rude. I ain't got OCD, so probably too dirty for you. For you, yeah. And I wish I was thick like a Kardashian chicks, but I'm a skinny bitch, so I'm off the list for you. For you, you. Hey, if it all fails, I'm right here for you. Go live your fairy tale. I'll be here waiting for you. Hey, if it all fails, I'll be here for you. Go live your fairy tale. I'll be here waiting for you. Staring at you too long, it's wrong. Feel like Stevie and I wonder if I could see without you. I really doubt it. Isn't weird, I can bury my heart, lock it up, keeping secrets but I can't deny it's creeping on you. And I don't even know you. Cause I'm not cool, just a little bit rude. I ain't got OCD, so probably too dirty for you. For you, yeah. And I wish I was rich like some silicon kids. I love my thrift shop kicks, I must be hella uncool for you. For you, yeah. Hey, if it all fails, I'm right here for you. Go live your fairy tale. I'll be here waiting for you. Hey, if it all fails, I'll be here for you. Go live your fairy tale. I'll be here waiting for you. If it all fails, if it all fails, if it all fails, I'll be here waiting for you. If it all fails, if it all fails, if it all fails, I'll be here waiting for you. Hey, if it all fails, I'm right here for you. Go live your fairy tale. I'll be here waiting for you. If it all fails, I'll be here for you. Go live your fairy tale. I'll be here waiting for you. If it all fails, if it all fails, if it all fails.
Party, heads all parallel to the floor. Mikey promised he'd tag me. Bet he won't. What a straight up liar. Was it so quiet? We're all alive, but you can't tell. Cause we're so bored. La-di-dum. Will someone hurry up and do something fun to show us we're not numb? La-di-dum, la-di-freaking dumb. La-di-dum, la-di-dum, la-di-da, la-di-freaking dumb. All the babes in the hotel, everyone says your 20s suck. We're all trendy inside now, but we'll say we don't give a rat's. Ask me if I meant that, probably not, but you can't tell. Cause we're so bored. La-di-dum. Will someone hurry up and do something fun to show us we're not numb? La-di-dum, la-di-freaking dumb. La-di-dum, la-di-dum, la-di-da, la-di-freaking dumb. La-di-dum, la-di-dum, la-di da, la-di-freaking dumb. Why is it so quiet? 'Cause we're so bored. La-dee-da. Will someone hurry up and do something fun to show us we're not numb? La-dee-da, la-dee-freaking dum. La-dee-da, 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 la-dee-freaking dum. La-dee-da, la-dee-dum, la-dee-da, la-dee-freaking dum.
If you've ever howled at the moon under the stars, skinny dipping in a water hole, can I get an alright? Alright. And if you have, then lift your glass, raise 'em up, and show some love to a better life. Let's all do a shot of Kentucky whiskey, throw down a nice cold beer the size of Texas. Buy a round for Oklahoma, give a shout out to both Dakotas and Tennessee. Drop it like it's hot with some fireball down in Louisiana. We'll all toast to sweet home Alabama. Bartender, this one's on me. To say thank you all out there for keeping it country. If you're up at the break of dawn, tilling that land bush, hogging on a John Deere, can I get a yeehaw? If you've ever set your scope on an 8-point buck in a clear, wide open field, then this song's for you. Turn it up. If you ever left a red dirt trail sitting up between those wooden pews on Sunday morning, Lord, what a night. And if you have, then lift your glass, raise 'em up, and show some love to a better life.
I'm a content creator. Of course, I always look my best. Of course, I'm gonna share my beauty secrets. Of course, I'm always ready for the camera. Of course, I know the good side of my face. Of course, I need to record everything.
The good side of your face,
Yeah,
Kinsman.
what side is that?
Well, I'll give you a hint. It's not the left and it's not the right.
Right.
So, do you know what side it is?
Yeah, what's that?
Yeah,
right?
you look great.
Head on.
You know when you wore that Jason Voorhees mask?
You like that?
That covered you
As
up
they say,
beautifully.
I've got a face for radio.
You got it. Well, we're gonna. You know,
segue for tonight's
I'm
guest.
surrounded by
Yeah.
radio guys tonight.
Yeah. It's
Help
the
me.
battle of the
I don't know what's
voice-off.
worse, being surrounded by radio guys or being surrounded by Leaf fans. Equally as bad, by the way. Before we do have a tremendous returning guest, by the way, and it's a
Yes,
privilege
we
to
do.
have him back in the studio. Before we get to that, a couple things. Tomorrow, we are going to be posting, but we have our VIP Santa Claus Parade experience.
This is exciting, yes.
Yeah.
The VIP experience is back.
Yeah.
67 3rd Ave, our studio's here at Studio 67. We'll be home for the Santa Claus Parade.
Yes, so how it's going to work, we're going to give an opportunity to watch the Santa Claus Parade from our office. So you can watch it inside, because we have the big bay windows that our co-op student cleaned.
He cleans just in time for the parade.
Yes, or you can watch it outside, just on the sidewalk, and we're going to have reserved seating, and it's going to be catered by Pick of the Crop.
Yes, Pick of the Crop is hopped
Yeah.
on, and they're going to be offering a combo tray, a couple
Yeah.
of combo trays for the night. So it's going to be a lot of good eats here.
And we're going to have some
studio.
beverages going, and we're going to be streaming live with Eastlink, a simulcast. So that's exciting. So the opportunity to get yourself into that draw happens tomorrow.
That all kicks off tomorrow, and another exciting partnership with Eastlink. We love Marty and his crew when he rolls in.
Number two, we're deep into being involved with Stan Fowler. So we're going to be doing the live streaming portion down the road
Yes,
at the country
We
station.
went down to see Shane Button and crew, Tyler Cropley.
Well, if you're going to say names, you better say every name you met. Then you're going to blow. You
I'm
don't say
gonna
names.
blow it.
Yeah.
Jordan, who's the new guy?
Jordan,
there?
yeah.
Jordan. On
Yeah.
the afternoon drive, we saw Bob McIntyre.
Okay.
And again, we're teaming up. They're doing the radio part. We're doing the live streaming part.
Yeah.
And together, we're going to tag team and hopefully raise more than we raised last year for the Stan Fowler, which was over 100,000 last year. We dare say, they said, do not predict over 100,000 this year. But I'm going to say,
I think we were just under. We
were
were 94 last year.
No, I'm pretty sure with the late coming bids and donations, it was just over the $100,000 mark. But close enough. I'm going to say we're pretty near to that mark for this year.
So we're going to be on the morning show at one point, and we were supposed to have like a minute segment. We were like 7 minutes. They had to run all the commercials back to back
run the commercials
because we talked too much.
Yeah, they said you guys are too long-winded.
Yep.
For us.
And finally, well, lots going on, but you're holding the prizes again.
Holding the prize again. We're giving away 5 passes to Imagine Cinema. So movie tickets right here. You can go see something new. Venom's still on the big screen this week.
Venom. Oh, God.
The new one here with Tom Hanks.
First of all.
And Hereditary is Heredity?
Hereditary.
No, is it Hereditary? Anyhow. Hugh Grant stars in one this week.
So I have to say this. Going to the movie, last movie I saw in the theater was Terrifier 3, like such a great experience.
Yeah.
Like you have to see a movie in the theater. But last night, I missed this one. I watched the sequel to The Joker, and I love musicals. So when people said
a lot of
musicals,
people saying because it's a musical, they didn't like it.
Well,
so
that would be you, Kinsman, because you don't like to relate to anything that's slightly feminine, right? So you're a man, so you can't like musicals. I get it. But I'm more. Of course not. Of course. But I like musicals. I like Moulin Rouge. It's one of my favorite movies. But this Joker movie, what a dud, dude. Like a huge dud. And you have Lady Gaga, one of the best singers of our time, and the music was terrible. Oh, God, it was just awful. So, but I think if I would have saw it at the theater, I would have enjoyed it more because I would have had a good seat and good eats.
So you're one of the few good reviews on that one.
No, I do. What good? No, I said it was terrible. It was awful. But listen, Imagine Cinemas is the place to be.
It's the place to watch it in the luxury recliners.
Yeah.
And again, 5 tickets. You can go 5 nights or bring 4 guests with you.
Now, can you put it back nicely and even?
No.
At least we admit our faults. Okay, so let's introduce our tremendous guest here.
Yes, all the way from Rhode Island, New York, from NPR Radio 89.3, Joe Tasca.
How's it going?
From Rhode Island.
Hey there, Mark and Jamie. Thanks so much for having me. Now, I got to just correct you, Mark, right off the bat here. I don't want to be on this show giving a geography lesson, but I have to point out, and Jamie probably knows this already, being the intelligent, handsome guy that he is, kind of like this guy over here on the screen. But Rhode Island, believe it or not, is actually its own state.
Yeah.
It is not part of New York. Canadians often mistake Rhode Island as being part of New York because of the confusion with Long Island, which is part of the state of New York. But Rhode Island is actually its own state. Believe it or not, we're the smallest state in the country.
And you're accurate about everything you said, by the way, especially my handsomeness and intelligentness. But let me ask you this question then. If Mark was on the radio in Rhode Island, what would be a bigger mistake? A slip of an F-bomb, which is a no-no, especially on radio, or calling Rhode Island, not referring to it as a state.
Oh, boy.
Which one would give him his walking papers
for
quicker?
the Leafs. Which one?
Well,
Which
never
one's
quit trying to dodge your
Well, cheering
mistakes.
for the Canadians in Rhode Island would probably be more of a problem because they're.
Which one would give Mark his walking papers
I
first?
gotta tell you, Mark, your lack of knowledge when it comes to American geography would probably render you unemployable in the States.
NPR.
Yes.
All 500,000
I love it.
listeners. It's amazing. You're on the air talking to 500,000 people at one time.
Yeah, we have a pretty large audience in Rhode Island, and it's pretty cool because we have about 1 million people statewide. And for someone like me, the prospect of having that many listeners can be somewhat intimidating, but I guess it's good that I'm on the radio, right? Because I keep being told by friends of mine that I have a face for radio, unlike you. I mean, you guys, I don't even know if I I should be on the same set as you boys, but I'm going to try my best to hold my own here.
Yeah, faces for radio.
Yeah.
If we had $1 for every time they said that, we wouldn't have to work in radio or our media business.
Maybe
careers.
I shouldn't be so self-deprecating now.
No,
maybe I can compete with you guys because I look at this picture.
Yeah, look at you
This is
behind
my
Pretty snazzy.
profile.
That's your studious
This is
look.
my profile photo
Yeah.
for the NPR website, and I look at that picture and I think to myself, you know what? If there was such such a thing as like a newsman
Yeah.
calendar? I bet you I could have my
You
own
look
month.
like
You can kick one off,
well,
the NPR Newsman
to me,
calendar. There
to
you
me,
go. For
it
2025.
looks like
Newsgal.
you looks like you're in the library at the beginning of Ghostbusters there, and you're about to be find out what before the Ghostbusters formed, or she gets slimed.
You look at that picture and you think, man, this guy looks sophisticated, distinguished, he's well-read and knowledgeable, and then you meet me in person and
They're
it's
like,
just
oh my
all shattered.
God. Look at
It's
that.
like it was all a
Yeah.
facade. The
See,
entire
Kinsman, you can make fun of yourself. Mark doesn't believe in making fun of himself.
We always poke fun.
Well, I
That's
poke
the
fun at
best
you,
bit.
yeah.
They say life's a bit.
Yeah, life is a bit.
always
but
good to
okay,
poke fun
so
at yourself.
a few questions. NPR, explain it to us, folks that may not know what that is.
Well, NPR's National Public Radio, it's an organization that was actually founded by Congress and through an act of Congress. It's similar to CBC up here. It's partially government funded, but it's a public radio station designed to serve the public interest with news and talk and cultural programming. So it is partially government funded, like the CBC, but it's independent of the government, so we don't have any editorial constraints. But the vast majority of our funding comes from listeners, from donors that donate to the station, and they pay our salaries and allow us to go out and perform the great journalism that we do. So we're not so reliant upon sponsors like commercial radio stations and commercial broadcast outlets are. We get funded directly by our listeners and our online viewers.
Oh, so the listeners are the boss. I love that.
they're the boss.
It's
They-
exactly like
They have the control.
how we run here. Our listeners are our boss.
So you're saying NPR is tantamount to the KINZ and KLOMP
It is,
program.
yes, that's right.
Okay, so you
I
guys really are top notch.
Hey, listen, we'll take any boost. So if I turn on NPR, is it all like a talk show format? Are we listening to music? Is it what type of a variety are we getting on
There's
the
a little
station?
bit of everything, Jamie.
Yep.
We have talk and music. Most of the programs emanate from Washington, D.C. That's where the main studios are. And we, as an affiliate station in Rhode Island, we pay for national programming. We also get BBC programming from Great Britain. We also have a couple of CBC shows on our station as well. But a lot of our programming is locally produced by our journalists and broadcasters. I'm a host and a journalist, and so it's funny because back home, every now and again, I'm in the supermarket or I'm in a public space and somebody hears my voice. It doesn't happen that often. I don't want to toot my own horn too much, but every now and again, your voice sounds familiar. I get that. And people also say, you're much more handsome than I anticipated you being, judging by your voice.
Stroking the ego just a bit.
So it can be tough to keep your ego in check. Seriously, when you have that many listeners and you have
People
people
lining up
recognize
behind you. You're paying for your bag of apples
Yeah.
there.
It's-
So-
because I'm like Mark, I come from commercial radio.
Yeah.
So being at this point in my life with such a large audience, it's very humbling, to be honest with you.
So when you're obviously, you focus a lot on like local community issues.
That's right.
But you're just coming off a fairly big election.
You heard about that, eh?
Once in a while here.
Some
like,
guy won.
Does that drive a lot of topics? Because you want the local variety, of course, which is always important in my mind. But then, you got this massive national story.
Yeah.
You have to find the right balance, right?
Yeah, and you can always have a local take on a national issue. And so for the weeks leading up to the election and, of course, the week after, getting that reaction from local listeners and online viewers, seeing what they think about what's going to happen and what did happen. It's all about finding how a national election that's happening in Washington, D.C. affects the local community. And there's always a local angle. And as you folks well know, up here in Canada, people have some pretty strong and poignant opinions on national issues. So it's not difficult to get people to comment and offer their thoughts.
And do you take in callers to your show?
We don't. We don't have a live talk show. That's
Okay.
probably a good thing because we'd have to be using the dump button probably more times
Especially after the results come in.
than we'd like
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
Yeah, it was a bit of a shocking result for sure. A lot of people are still trying to wrap their heads around the implication of the American elections. But I think the bottom line is politics is very polarizing, but I think in essence, as divided as we are as Americans and Canadians, people just want the best for their families, and I think that's the main takeaway from national elections.
The dump button. So the dump button's like a mute or get rid of.
It's a mute if you swear. The
That's
swear
right.
button.
You swear.
Right.
There's usually a 7-second delay on radio stations,
Okay.
so you can hit that button.
Back in the day when it was reel to reel, you had to splice it.
This
within a
guy's
second.
dating himself.
Oh, he
7
always
seconds,
does. He
yeah.
always does. Trust
The
me.
white china marker and the X-Acto knife. That's where it all started back in '97 for me.
97.
Yeah.
I started in 98. We're both dating ourselves now. So I was 16 back in 1998 when I started my broadcast career. I basically, when I turned 16, my father came to me and said, Joe, it's time to go to work. Time to get a job.
Yeah.
And I said, all right, if you say so. But I didn't want to deliver pizzas, didn't want to work in a supermarket. So luckily, there was a local radio station in my hometown of Westerly, Rhode Island. That's Taylor Swift's hometown, by the way. Tay-Tay owns a $17 million house in my hometown. She never invites me to her house parties, though. I don't know what that's all about.
Well, she is
these
up
days.
here for the Eras Tour this week in Toronto. Maybe she'll
Well,
be-
you know, I got to talk
She'll
to her
invite you
people
back.
and ask her why she doesn't invite me to her parties. But when I knocked on the door of my local radio station when I was 16, I said, listen, I said, folks, I'll do anything. I'll sweep the floors. I'll make you coffee. I'll fill out affidavits. I'll do whatever you want me to do. Just give me a job. And the station owner at the time said, well, what do you think about doing newscasts? And I said, okay. Don't know anything about politics. Don't know how local government works. But if you give me the copy, I'll read it. So I started doing newscasts. I was board opping, actually, at the time, doing Red Sox and Patriots games, just running the controls like Ronnie's doing back here. By the way, can I just make a brief diversion here, fellas?
You sure
I
can.
was told,
Yeah.
it's just a rumor,
Okay.
but I was told that you guys had a makeup artist on staff, and that when I was going to come here and
It's
be
true.
on camera
It's
and
true.
face the people
Well,
of Timmins,
I'm
I
gonna-
thought that
I'm
I was
gonna
going to
tell
be
you what
dolled
happened
up.
here. This was true, but me as a bald guy, I went and got
we don't need to
I went and got myself a wig a
much
year
makeup.
ago, and
That's right, I noticed the hair's gone.
I blew the whole makeup wardrobe budget on this expensive
Got
wig
too windy one afternoon. It blew off
that
down Third
that
Avenue.
I've worn 3 times since, which I will make a return of it, despite popular opinion not to. So that's where the makeup budget went.
Okay, because I knew you
Blew
guys
it
had
on the wig.
you guys had some technical problems last week. I didn't know if you
Oh,
were
no.
cutting the budget or if you gave Ronnie the night off or whatever
Yeah.
the case may be.
Yeah.
But the brief diversion. But yeah, I got into broadcast when I was 16. The rest is history. I'm in my 40s now.
Still going.
And,
Yeah.
still going. And you know, I mean, look at that guy.
He loves his photo there,
I
Kinsman.
mean,
He does. He's admiring himself.
Now,
it's
do you
a sight to behold.
Do
right?
you believe, and I'm a big Stern follower, and for many reasons, Stern's really evolved from the days where Stern started off, but I love his story of perseverance. And one of the things he did is that he brought a real personal approach to the radio. So there's one thing about telling local stories, talking about national stories. Do you have the flexibility, and if you do, are you comfortable telling personal stories on the radios, maybe things that affect your life positively, negatively, that you can relate to other viewers?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
because I think that's what people want when they're listening to, particularly the radio. It's a very intimate medium, as you know, Mark. There is something so special about listening. That's why podcasts are so popular. You can connect with and relate to the hosts, and that's such a powerful tool because people feel like they have someone that understands them and that has a direct relation to the way that they live their lives. And I think that sometimes when we think about how polarized modern day society is, we're so focused on the things that divide us. But really, when you sit down and actually have conversations with people, particularly in person, and you sit down with a microphone and you hear about how people are just trying to put food on their table and feed their families and do the best they can to, down south, live the American dream and just own a home and enjoy time with their loved ones and recreate and enjoy leisure time. That's really what the human experience is all about. So having that personal touch and not just having things be politically oriented and abstract as an idea, it's so powerful and it's critical as far as making people feel like they have someone they can relate to.
Well,
Yeah, being relatable
super cool.
goes a long way, especially in any broadcast medium. Yeah, you need to relate to the audience, or the audience will, fizzle away.
Yeah, and I think that it can be intimidating sometimes to put yourself out there, particularly in a public forum, because someone like me, I mean, I had kind of a troubled childhood. My parents divorced when I was young. I mean, we all have our stories, right? I'm pretty comfortable telling my story and putting myself out there. Not everybody is, though. But I think sometimes when you hear someone who's been somewhat successful in his life tell his story, that can resonate with younger people in particular that sometimes feel like they're behind the 8 ball and they don't have the same advantages maybe that other people do. Hearing those stories can have a tremendous impact on a young person's life, and you can really make a positive impact in that way.
So the obvious question, which we haven't asked, so Rhode Island, you're living there, you're working there.
God's country, by the way.
God's
Due respect to
fighting
Timmins.
words. I thought we were
Yes.
God's country there.
I don't want to offend
people
Corey
probably
Robin
want-
or anyone else. out
But
there.
okay, so you're there, but now you're in Timmins,
Yeah.
Ontario. So what brought this journey? Because this is not your first time. It's your second time
We met
actually
you
on
last
our
year.
show. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, I was here last fall.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny, the short version of this story, I'm a huge hockey fan. Hockey is the greatest sport on earth. Many people in Timmins know this already. When I got my first full-time job in my early 20s, I decided that, you know what? There was a website that I came across. There's a fella down in London, Kevin Jordan, shout out to Kevin. He had a website, still does, called the OHL Arena Guide. He profiled all 20 OHL arenas. He talked about the atmosphere, the architecture of the arena, the food, the city, and because he had been to all 20 arenas. He's a huge OHL fan. I came across this site and I said, you know what? This guy's crazy. He drove to Owen Sound and Sault Ste. Marie and out all the way out to Kingston. I'm like, damn, I want to do that. And so I started this crazy idea. I started in Quebec because being from Rhode Island, we're closer to Quebec than we are Ontario. But I've since gone to, in the last 20 years, probably 40 of the 60 CHL rinks. I've been out west, been to BC,
Oh, wow.
Saskatchewan, Manitoba, been all over the Maritimes. When you have a passion, you just, and you meet other people that share that passion, there's something so special about it. And for me, when I started traveling to Canada with a friend of mine, JJ, back at home, we started going to games in Quebec, and then we just like branched out to different parts of Canada. You meet people on the road. You meet people in hotels. You meet people in pubs. You meet people at the rink. And one thing leads to another, and it's led me to Timmins. I met folks from Timmins down south. I got friends in the Abitibi-Temiskaming region in Quebec, and I've been coming here 4 years in a row now, and it's just awesome. I love the area myself. I mean, as you folks well know, any urban area has its challenges, but for me, there's something about meeting people that have shared passion, a common interest. It's like you meet kindred spirits. And as an American, hockey's big in the States, particularly in Rhode Island where I'm from, but it's kind of a distant fourth from your baseballs and footballs and
Right.
basketball. Up here, hockey it's so woven into the fabric of the communities, and particularly Timmins. And that's what I absolutely love about coming up here. And it's just, it's the opportunity to see the sport in a different context. And as an American, that's so enjoyable.
In a different country.
Yeah.
And a different country.
And
Well.
you know the NOJHL, you're a big fan of that.
Yeah.
We
Huge
met you
fan.
at the Just Jordan Arena last year.
Right.
Big fan of the Storm. And again, speaking of the Storm, they take on Timmins, the Timmins Rock on Friday at the Just Jordan Arena.
Yeah.
And you just happen to be going to that game.
I'm going to be there. And it's funny because I've seen games at the MAC here
Yeah.
in Schumacher. And I've been to the Igloo last year for the first time for the Storm's inaugural season. I have not seen Timmins play Iroquois Falls, though. This is the first time that I've seen the
Should be a good
direct
game,
It's
yeah.
gonna be a
rivalry.
big,
Yeah.
big battle. Always
So,
is.
and I hear the
Yeah.
Storm, they're doing better this year. Last year was kind of the first season. They're having a better season, and Timmins is doing well. So I'm looking forward to the game. It's
gonna be a good game.
And if I may say so, I don't want to play favorites here because Jamie Mark. I mean, I'm a reporter. I'm supposed to
Yeah.
be objective, but I'm going to go on the
You gotta
record
be
right
neutral.
now.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be.
Yeah,
but
but-
you know what? I'm on vacation. I'm in Canada. I'm going to go on the record right now here. guys, and say that I'm rooting for the Storm tomorrow.
Oh, there might be fighting words
Friday
on this
night,
show
yes.
here.
I want to hear Mark Kinsman's voice on that PA announcing goal after goal after goal for the Storm.
Well, there's going to be a lot of goals between both teams. I'm going to say there's going to be a lot of tallies on the sheet. I just might put your face on the Videotron. They have the new scoreboard there. I don't know if you were there when they got the new score clock,
No,
but
I don't think there was
the
a
Just Jordan
scoreboard
Arena's got the brand new Videotron.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
Get to
So a
see
new
the
experience.
upgrade.
They got a big upgrade. So,
Cool.
all right. So you're going. See, you can have an opinion. Who are you cheering for, Kinsman?
I'm cheering for the Storm.
Oh wow, you're showing off because of radio calling.
Well, it's funny.
Yeah.
So they got the Bruins colors, right?
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Iroquois Falls.
So
Now,
that's a little familiar down in.
it's
Rhode
familiar,
Island.
but in a dismaying way, because guys, this might be surprising, but I am not a Bruins fan. I'm actually a Canadiens fan,
Oh.
which sounds a little crazy. I don't admit that back at home because I want to keep my friends. I don't want to rub anybody the wrong way. I can say it up here north of the border, but seeing those Bruins colors, that's the only thing I don't like about the Storm right there.
I want
I'm
to-
going to let that pass. That's
We
okay.
so when you came in our co-op studio, you're from the States, eh? You know nothing about Canada. You went into one of those things. You're quite educated on Canada,
Yes.
probably than most Canadians. But I want to put it to the test here.
All right, you're going to put me on the spot.
I'm going to
live?
use Mark here. I'm going to
right.
see
Joe
if
from
you know more
89.3
about
in Rhode
Canada
Island.
or Mark knows more about the United States. Now, based on his Rhode Island comment, this is going to be a very short
this is gonna
game.
be a very short.
All right.
Short game,
So,
yeah.
so the first to get it wrong gets eliminated. Okay.
Okay.
So now you're in big trouble here, but you have a chance. I
have a
to
chance?
really
So who gets
redeem
to go
yourself.
first
So
here?
the host will decide. That's me,
Okay.
Kinsman. So
Man, he's jumping the gun. already
he
here.
always wants to host everything. Trust me, Kinsman. I gotta say, he gets just too excited. Okay, so we're gonna start with lob balls. All right. Who is the Prime Minister of Canada?
Justin Trudeau.
Oh wow, in French, that is great.
Wow.
All right, Kinsman. I think you're going to get this wrong. Who is the President of the United States?
That's Joe Biden.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Trump.
No,
Okay.
Trump doesn't take over till January.
Okay.
right. Yeah.
Very good. Very impressive. We'll move over here. What is the capital of Canada?
Ottawa.
Okay. Very good. A lot of Americans do say Toronto. What is the capital?
Well, Toronto is the center of the universe. Don't you know that?
What is the capital of the United States?
Washington, D.C.
That's so far he's
Ding,
right.
ding, ding. Yeah, 2 for 2.
So far he's
We're
right.
going toe to toe right
Okay.
now.
Oh, toe-to-toe.
Okay. All right.
That's it.
What is the name of the Canadian national anthem?
Boy, the official name?
Yeah.
Didn't know that there was one. Canada?
Yeah, he's right.
Okay.
You got it.
All right, Kinsman.
right.
What is the name of the American national anthem?
The Star-Spangled Banner.
I thought he was going to say God Save the Queen. God, he is on a roll.
We
That's 3
weren't,
for 3.
we weren't
Yeah.
a British Dominion like you guys.
We were British Dominion. Okay. Name a province on the East Coast.
Nova Scotia.
Easy. All right, Kinsman.
What do you...
Name a southern state. I'll make it look.
Southern states?
Yeah. You're doing pretty
I'm gonna
good.
say a southern state.
Luckily, there's
Florida
no time
state.
limit.
Florida State? You sure it's Florida? Do you want to just think about it?
No, maybe not, eh?
You have Florida State?
No, Florida.
You go to Disney World, you go to Florida State, or do you go to... you
No
might...
pressure, Mark.
Yeah, no pressure.
Come on, you don't say Florida State, you say... Just one word.
Florida.
Okay, there we go. We,
You just had to encourage him a little
well, I
bit.
have to help out my
He
partner.
had it. He knew it.
All right. Now we got to get a... Okay.
He's
Not,
bringing
not so lob ballish.
He's bringing out the heavy
Yeah.
artillery right now.
Okay. Who is a hero that started the walk across Canada to raise money for cancer research on one leg? Canadian hero, icon.
Fox?
Yeah, but do you know his first name?
Oh, boy.
Ooh, Kinsman.
This is going to be a tough one.
Yeah. Canadian icon. Maybe
Why do I know
maybe
his
the
last
most famous and revered Canadian in history. Hedda Wayne Gretzky.
I don't think I can come up with his first name.
Do we give him a hint? Do we get a hint from the audience?
Okay, because
help him out?
You got a hint, so
Yeah, so let's
okay,
give
yeah.
Joe a
so there's some answers there. I don't know if you can see them. You mentioned the new
here.
glasses. It looks.
Hold on.
We have some. Starts with a T.
Oh, Terry Fox.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Wow. Jeez,
All right.
I had to pull that one
Kinsman,
out of my
who is the
backside.
first president of the United States?
I'm going to say George Washington.
He's right.
on. He might as well make him an honorary American.
I get my honorary
How many
pass.
provinces are there in Canada?
I think there are 10 provinces and 3 territories.
Oh, wow.
You didn't even ask me about the territories.
I didn't.
I just threw that in there.
Yeah. How many states in the United States?
There's 50 states.
There are 50 states. Boy, I tell
How
you,
is-
we might be on all night long.
We
Yeah,
might.
well, let's keep
I
going.
I really have to stump. What is the most western province?
Would it be the Yukon?
I was going to say
The
BC.
Western
Furthest west?
province.
Uh-oh.
That's a territory.
Okay, so it
got
would
the
be BC then.
Okay.
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 All right,
So
Kinsman.
that was a technicality, right?
Yeah.
A technicality.
A
So he's
technicality.
going with the left coast,
Yeah.
British Columbia.
Yeah. Name the closest state to Timmins, Ontario.
Closest state.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say,
I mean, I guess it could be a couple, but
what's Sioux, Michigan? What state would that be? Maybe,
what state?
Michigan State? Michigan.
Okay.
I'm going to say Michigan.
Would that be right? Like, I would think it would be New York, Buffalo, but
I'm actually.
it's only
I was,
5 hours- it's
I was
5 hours
thinking
that
New
way.
York too,
Okay.
but
Sault Ste. Marie, you can cross the border. You're in Michigan.
okay, so we can go with Michigan, but I'm not sure about that.
Okay.
It's one of them.
now, okay, we're really going to get hard
Uh-oh.
to end this battle.
He's got,
Yeah.
pulling out all the stops here, Joe.
What is the capital of Saskatchewan?
Regina.
Whoa.
No hesitation.
He knows his hockey because he's probably been there to watch hockey. All right, Kinsman.
Uh-oh.
What is the capital of California?
Capital of
Ooh, that's a tough one.
California.
You did a good job, Kinsman, even in
You're
defeat.
gonna break him here.
Hang
Yeah.
on. Capital of
My
California.
prediction is
Yeah.
this ends here.
Yeah.
This is the finishing move.
He knows a lot about the states, though. You can't use the...
The capital
Yeah.
of California.
I know you want to say Los Angeles. I know you're dying to, but that
It's
since
not-
Joe
it'd
says
be
it's...
too off the wall and easy for that one for Los Angeles.
He's looking at me for a hint.
Yeah.
He can't give you.
Don't
Let's,
love
is a war.
geography.
we're down
It's
to
a
the
war.
nitty-gritty here.
Okay, I'm going to say it would be San Francisco. I got it.
Great guess, but
Yeah.
it would be Sacramento.
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 And you did have
Yeah,
help
there
from
was.
the
Ty
audience.
Stone was in there.
All right. Well,
Sacramento,
Mark
I
did a
should've
lot better.
followed ya.
Yeah, Mark did a little bit better than I
Wow.
thought he was.
Well, we
gonna
can
do.
shake hands.
There
Yeah.
we go.
Oh,
Well
every-
done,
go.
Mark.
Well
it's
done.
it's
Yeah.
nice to beat you here on the live
That's right.
broadcast.
There can be-
Battle of the voices.
yeah.
Voices of Rhode Island right there.
Yeah, you got to have a winner and you got to have a loser,
Yes,
right?
you do.
Yeah.
And I think it was appropriate that I, as a guest on the show,
We got to leave you with a parting win here.
absolutely.
Right.
That's what I call Northern hospitality.
So
Thank you, boys.
what we're going to do, you're about to see something fun here shortly. We're going to take a break and thank
the
our
Wheel of
partners
Winning
and
coming.
sponsors. We're going to come back, close it up, and you're going to see our Wheel of Winning.
Oh, I love the Wheel of
This
Winning.
is more exciting than your election in the States, trust me. This Wheel of Winning is top notch.
Wheel of winning.
All right, Ronnie and Caleb, right when we come back.
And reserve your booth now with the Timmins Construction Association for the 2025 Home Cottage and Lifestyle Show at the MAC. Happens May 3rd and 4th. Reserve your booth today, 705-268-3757, or email office@tca-on.ca. And on the big screen at Imagine Cinemas this week, it is Hugh Grant starring in Heretic. Tom Hanks stars in here. And how about Venom: The Last Dance? Tickets and showtimes at imaginecinemas.com. And are you looking for a new way to fundraise? Then try Sweet Freeze Timmins today with 25 delicious Sweet Freeze treats to choose from and more. Also pick up their Christmas Advent calendars while you're shopping at 175 3rd Avenue and Sweet Freeze Timmins. You can also find them online at sweetfreeze.ca. And for the best in photography, it's Mark DeRoche Photography. Mark's an award-winning and nationally accredited professional photographer based right here in Timmins. Mark also won Best in Class Portrait in Ontario for 2016. And check out the new 2020 2025 Ski-Doo lineup. They've now arrived at Mikey's, your general sales. Get one of these for under the tree. Browse their showroom today, 1301 Airport Road. And be a vendor at Timmins Con 2025 with the Northern Ontario Expo. Happens the weekend of April 12th and 13th at the MAC. To register, you can log on to northernontarioexpo.com. And try some new items off a Sparks menu this week at Sparks Pizza, like the new Davalo Pizza. How about the teriyaki chicken pizza or the 24-karat smoked Atlantic salmon pizza? Or try one of their boozy milkshakes. You can dine in at 206 3rd Avenue in your downtown or try them online, sparkspizza.ca. And the storm surge continues this Friday night when the Iroquois Falls Storm take on the Timmins Rock at the Igloo. Puck drops at 7:30 p.m. Get your tickets now at ifstormjra.com. And the Schumacher Lions Club are looking for some new members in the new year. If you'd like to volunteer and become a member, contact the Lions Club today, 705-267-6838. And check out this new listing and more with Albert Seal and Katrina McInnes from Royal LePage, your Northern Realty leaders. Check out 167 Claim Post Trail. It could be your new dream home today, 705-465-3493. And if you need to rent it, then Gord's Rentals has it for you. Located 778 Riverside Drive, Timmins, 705-268-7029. Now serving the residential, commercial, and industrial sectors. And book a detail or your Crown appointments this week with Darren DeBano from the Shine Shop Crown Timmins. In fact, Darren says there's spots available for you this week. So give them a call, 705-268-4855, or stop in and see them. Located 1300 Riverside Drive. And do you need to upgrade your vehicle? Then let Ron Parody and his sales team at Matheson Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram upgrade it for you. It's worth the drive, 349 Highway 11 in Matheson. And the BIA holiday pop-up shops are almost sold out, so don't wait. 2 spots remain for December the 14th and only 3 spots for December 21st. They all kick off Saturday, November the 23rd at 72 Pine Street South in Timmins. To sign up, you can email them today, info@downtowntimmins.com. And Attawapiskat Catering is the full catering service for the De Beers Victor mine site. Give them a call today, 705-267-5547. And find the post and nominate a nonprofit with love for your nonprofits. Winners win a free week of advertising on our show with a big thanks to the Schumacher Lions Club and Sebastian Vermette Insurance and Financial Limited. And when you need your packages delivered on time every time, well, put your trust with Robert Champagne at Timmins Courier Service. Let's get those packages moving just in time for Christmas. 705-266-4285. Find your dream home today with Jessica Gervais from Royal LePage, your Northern Realty leaders. Check out this parcel of land in Matheson and more. Online, Jessica Gervais at royallepage.ca. And do you need a trained security guard for your next event or function? Then call Martin Peel today at Pad's Canine Protection and Detection Services. Located at 193rd Avenue in your downtown. Call them now, 705-288-7435. And do you need more space for the hockey bags? Well, let Timmins Hyundai help you out. With the new arrivals of the 2025 Palisades, they come with 7 and 8 passenger seating options. Book a Timmins Hyundai test drive today, located 800 Riverside Drive. The first and only First Nations-owned security provider in Ontario is Advanced Security, based right here in Timmins, 705-267-5547. Win a free week of advertising on our show with Boost Your Business. Watch for the post weekly and nominate a business today. With a big thanks to Timmins Courier Service, Canadian Tradex, and Mikey's General Sales. And Mel are launching the We Count Talk Show. The pilot show will launch November 21st at 7 p.m. Follow our social media pages for details and follow theirs for details at shesconnected.ca. And looking for a perfect stocking stuffer? Then get the gift of bowling today at Midtown Bowl. Call Nat today for yours, 705-267-3500. Also inquire about booking your Christmas parties. And good luck to the Timmins Majors U18 team this week as they hit the road for the Niagara Falls Showcase. You can follow the team for stats and more at timminsmajors.com. For the best financial advice of the North, everyone goes to Sebastian Vermette Insurance and Financial Limited. Sebastian is also your mutual fund investment specialist as well. Give him a call, 705-264-4395. Need details on DARE Timmons classes or want to become a DARE volunteer in the new year? Then email Francine Dennis today at daretimmons@gmail.com. And watch our show all school year long with updates, interviews, and more from the Northeastern Catholic District School Board. For details, you can log on to ncdsb.on.ca. And book a carpet clean or a strip and wax job today with DAP Cleaning Solutions. For residential, commercial cleaning excellence guaranteed, call Andrew N. for your free quote, 705-465-3500. And the PMHA is pleased to announce that they have some free sessions available to current U9, U11, and U13 and U15 players. Check out the PMHA Facebook page for rinks, times and schedules, and more. She's the producer of Sportsman Channel Canada and Just Hunt Inc. Amanda Lynn Mayhew. And Jackpot Days continue at Jackpot Time Timmins. For the month of November, win double line prizes every single session at 251 First Avenue. And save the date for this Sunday, November 17th, 5:45 p.m. for the 10th annual Christmas tree lighting at Hollinger Park. It's going to be hosted by us. We're going to have a lot of fun with you. We hope to see you down there. And when shopping Canadian Tire Timmins, make sure you sign up for a Canadian Tire Triangle Rewards card today. That's how you maximize your Canadian Tire money spent every time you shop at Canadian Tire Timmins. And for details on Rock on the River 2025 and more, you need to follow TFEC online. You can do so now at timmonsfestivals.com.
Back at it.
We're back
Yeah,
at it.
you took the L again, Kinsman. You try. You want to give him a "you tried" ribbon to add to his other "you tried" ribbons?
Well, Sacramento. Now, you get it wrong once. I'll remember the next time.
I can't wait to go to Disney World in Florida State.
Florida State is a great place to be, I'll tell you, especially this time of year.
Yeah. Well, Florida would be a nice place
Yeah,
to
there's
be.
nothing worse than when the PGA Tour comes to Canada for the Canadian Open.
That's right. Is that Oakville?
It's in Oakville, but they all say Toronto still.
Yeah.
That's because Americans don't know
No.
where Oakville is.
Yeah.
They haven't heard of it.
I'm
one of 13 Americans that have actually heard of Timmins.
Yeah.
So
You
much
do
less
know a
been
lot
there.
about.
And the NOJHL.
Yeah.
Right. That's,
Yeah.
you know, I have to say that you guys, just Canadians in general, of course, always keep an eye on what's happening in the States.
Well, we do, yeah.
Except for Sacramento.
Except what's happening in Sacramento and Portland, those western cities. But Americans, I'm embarrassed to admit, we don't really know much about
No, you don't care.
the
about
Great
what-
White North.
What we're
You just
doing.
know that's where the cold air comes
Yeah,
from.
yeah.
That's where the
Yeah.
map ends in your
Listen,
classrooms.
yeah,
Right? Canada doesn't
Folks in
exist.
Toronto don't even care what we're doing in Timmins. Never mind Americans caring what we're doing up here.
No, Toronto thinks north is Barrie.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and
Not
Sac,
realizing
right?
there's another 7 hours. here.
Exactly.
But I've been to southern Florida. Oh, man, I love it down there. Yeah.
and so like Miami.
Yeah.
That area.
Yeah. Well,
It's,
mostly Fort Lauderdale. We did some stuff down there for
it's funny,
celebrity
right? Because
boxing.
it's such a huge country.
Yeah.
We have like 350 million people, but it's like we have multiple countries within one country because the South doesn't have much in common with the Northeast, and then you have the Midwest, just different regions. It's amazing we've been able to last for almost 250 years.
When I in Fort Lauderdale, remember going to the Dunkin' Donuts. I remember, hey, how's it going? I'm from Canada, and the guy's like, so what? So is everyone here. Yeah, dude. Everyone's Canadian here. Like we're all retirees, right? So what do we call those? Snowbirds?
The snowbirds.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing about Florida. So many Canadians down there because you could argue that those are the smart people that have just they've had enough of winter starting in October.
Right.
By the way, I mean I was playing golf last week back at home. It was 20 degrees. I come up here and it's -1, and I'm driving into a snowstorm coming in from Val
No one likes a bragger joke.
What's that
We all
all
want to be
about?
playing golf.
At this time of year up here,
Jeez
Joe.
Louise. It's like welcome to Timmins.
This is warm for us, and this is winter season. Like if we're above
This
0
is mild.
Celsius,
This is a mild start.
Yeah.
Normally we're 6 feet deep in snow at this time.
Really?
Last
in
year when you
November?
came here,
back in his days,
I don't know if there was a lot of snow,
we're
but
not
No,
6 feet deep
well,
in
maybe.
November, are we?
No, normally I'm here in October.
Yeah.
So there's no snow on the ground. But I've gotten a little taste of it here early part of November.
So get ready for this big excitement.
you
This
bring
is our Wheel of
back.
Winning.
He's going to have the Wheel of Winning on
Yeah.
NPR,
Yes.
89.3
So,
in Rhode Island.
5 movie
Yes.
passes from Imagine Cinemas. All you needed to do is comment on the show. So Caleb is going to pop it up there. We're going to get, not yet, boys, because you haven't shared it. So they're going to share it.
These guys are jumping the gun here.
I know, they get excited because you're here.
Well, they should be.
Excited.
All right, roll the wheel, bring it back to the StreamYard
Now, do I
tab.
qualify here for this wheel winning?
Did you comment on the
You made a
show?
comment. Did you comment
Wait
on
a
the
minute, I
show?
can't comment. I'm on the air.
There we go. Natalie
Natalie
Pichette. Natalie.
Yes, congrats.
All
to
right. So
Natalie Pichette. So we'll get in touch with her. And Nat, you're off to the movies. 5 movie passes to go check out, a new flick this week
Yeah.
at Imagine Cinemas.
You guys got some really good prizes.
We got
We do.
awesome
Amazing
partners, yeah.
sponsors, and they all
Have
give
you
back in spades.
have
here.
you seen the Joker? Like, I'm a guy who loves most movies, and
So it's funny. A friend of mine was telling me about this movie just
Yeah.
last week. I have not seen it. So what's your honest opinion, Jamie?
my honest opinion is, man, did they drop the ball? Especially when you have, if you want, I'm okay with the musical piece because I love a lot of musicals. When you have Lady Gaga, who's a mega star, who can sing, who can play, who can compose, who can write, can do everything,
she's a
the
great
soundtrack was just awful.
Drop the ball.
This ending, which I won't spoil, but I get why people are kind of left off about it. And there's just not enough Joker in this movie to appease the comic book fans.
You guys are brutal. Forget Siskel and Ebert.
Yeah.
We got KINZ and KLOMP.
And I love most
Movie critics.
I can find a
Two thumbs up.
positive
We'll
spin.
have to come
Now,
up
if
with
you
a
want to
new
see a
slogan.
real movie, you got to see Carved on Disney Plus
Yes.
about the Killer Pumpkin.
Yeah,
a
we had
local.
Cheryl Meyer on the
She
show
wrote the
a couple
movie,
weeks
yeah.
ago, right before Halloween.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
No, that movie's awesome. That Killer
That's
Pumpkin.
got your
so.
full endorsement.
It does.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to watch
Yeah.
that, and she asks everybody to go and give it a true rating online.
On IMDb,
Okay.
yeah.
IMDb.
I appreciate that
Yeah.
recommendation. Now, can I trust you guys?
Yes,
Taste
yes.
some
Try,
movies?
just
I
go
can't-
into
okay.
it.
I don't know
Now,
about
do you
this.
believe? Do you believe there's a real Killer Pumpkin out there?
I suppose anything's possible.
Okay.
I don't want to rule anything
Yeah,
out.
you don't want to rule it out. But if you go in the mentality of just to have fun, and then I heard the Killer Pumpkin's their new president, by the way.
The Killer
Well, if
Pumpkin.
there are killer clowns from outer space, and I suppose
There's got to be.
killer pumpkins.
It is if a movie
who
can
knows?
if a movie can give you like a break from reality for an hour and a half and just have fun, A+. Joker
Absolutely.
was not that movie.
You know, I got to be honest with you. I wanted to be a